Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I haven't sat down and filmed a video in ages. I've been kind of doing more vlog style videos, and I've got another one coming for you on Sunday because I'm going up to Manchester tomorrow. So I'll be having one of those, you know, weekends, which I know you guys love when I vlog, so I'm gonna be doing that for you guys for Sunday. Sorry, I mean, no, that is what I mean. Anyway, for today's video, I just thought I would do like a sit down, chatty, get ready with me. I'm just gonna be like doing my makeup, but I thought I would ask you guys to ask me your most taboo questions and sort of like what my thoughts are on certain taboo subjects, just to make it super interesting and just to kind of let you guys all remember that everyone has these questions, everyone has these thoughts, you are normal. So if you're watching this and you're like my mum or a brand or, you know, someone that I know, this is very normal to talk about, especially at like my age, and like my demographic is like a majority of you are of a similar age to me. So everyone has these questions. These are just my thoughts and my opinions on them. That's not for everyone. I'm so open for discussion about it all. That's what this is about, is just talking about things that people might be scared or embarrassed to talk about. So without further ado, let me just give a quick shout out. It's post notification bell shout out time, and this week it goes to Amy Fathers. Amy Fathers, shout out to you. Thank you so much for commenting and watching my videos. Okay, so now without further ado, let's just jump right into these questions. I'm so overwhelmed with the amount of questions, and it really just goes to prove to me that people have a lot of questions that they might be scared to answer, so I'm here to help you guys out. So let's go ahead and get started. Hair out the way, hair back. Okay, let's just get this going. Let's get these questions up. Okay, I saw this question. Sorry, I'm gonna put my phone. Oh, I need it to charge and it won't stretch that far. If I keep looking to the side, it's because I'm looking at my phone with the questions on. So the first question that I've seen a lot of people ask when I was like scrolling through is opinion on girls fake tanning and looking extremely dark and being told it's racist. Now, as you guys know, I love fake tanning. I love the way that I feel when I'm tanned, but I feel as if I've never taken it too far as to look, like to try and convince you that I'm black. Like, I would never do that. I only really do it to be, you know, tanned as if like I'd been on holiday tanned, because I don't tan naturally. So, but I mean, I used to tan naturally. This is the funny thing. I used to tan naturally, and then I think I burnt myself once so much that I just, you know, now I don't tan. But you know, I think I know what you guys are talking about, like a certain tweet that I saw that went viral. I in no way think that that girl was trying to be racist. In my opinion, racist is where you're using derogatory terms to describe someone of color in a negative way, discriminating, that kind of thing. Do you know what? It's such a sensitive topic. I would hate to say the wrong thing, but unless the intention is to try and pretend that you're black and therefore doing what people call blackface, I wouldn't say it's racist. Because I know some people that are, you know, of a light skin tone, and when they go on holiday, people use the term, oh, they've literally changed race just because they tan so much. But would you say that to someone that happened to naturally? Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. It's a tough one. Frick, I wanted to do my eyes first. I'll just do my foundation and then eyes. Yeah, I don't know. It all depends, I think, on the intentions behind it. Because some people just accidentally go overboard with tan, you know, like that happens. And that's not intentional or anything like that. What do you guys think? I feel like you guys might know the tweet that's being spoken about, and I don't want to bring any more attention to it because she was, you know, was getting hurdles and of abuse, that I think that's unnecessary to make someone feel so awful when it is just fake tan at the end of the day. It does come off, like you can scrub it off. There was no ill intentions behind it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about, you know, obviously what it looks like. I've seen some examples where it's like quite clear that they're pretending to, you know, be something that they're not, and I think that's too far. But I don't think racist is the right term. I don't know what the right term is, but I don't think it's racist. Because I think if you looked up what racist meant in the dictionary, that doesn't really like fall under it. But then again, I could be wrong, I could be wrong, I could be wrong, I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think on fake tanning to the extreme. Okay, someone said, how do I tell my boyfriend I want to shake up our sex life without him thinking I'm bored? I don't think he'd think you were bored. If you just said, like, babe, let's do something different, you know? Like, that doesn't mean that you're bored. That just means that you want to try something new, you know? I feel like that's just saying you wanna try something new, and if you went no, you could still just be like, okay, like, whatever. Or just like, I think it would be fun if we did this, you know? I think it just depends on the way that you said it, and I'm sure they wouldn't be offended. I mean, and if they do get offended, then no one is the best at anything. There's always room for, you know, improvement. So if they don't think that they need improvement, then dump his ass. Someone said, what's your honest opinion on sending nudes? Be careful. I mean, I can't really say that I've ever really done that. I've never sent anything naked. Let me just put that out there. But then that's nothing against anyone that does do that. I feel like if you're in a relationship, that's just like a fun way to like keep it, you know, spicy or whatever. But my main thing, like my main thoughts on it is only do it if you 100% trust that person, because they could come back and bite you in the arse with it if like it ends sour, and they're the type of asshole to like use it against you, that like you don't want to be sending anything to anyone if you even have the slightest inkling that they might do that to you. Like, no way. You need to trust that person 100%. Hence why I said, like, maybe like when you're in a relationship it's a little bit better, because hopefully you should trust them 100%. But even, you know, even in those certain situations, people are like bitter when, you know, you break up and they get nasty and they think that that's okay, and it's not. 100% not. So just make sure if you do want to do that, make sure that you 100% trust them, and if you have an inkling that you're not, then I just wouldn't. And if they give you shit for that, that's their problem. Get rid of them straight away. People need to learn that it's okay to say no without having to give an explanation. Like, if you don't want to send a fucking nude and they make you feel bad, just be like, alright, you send me one. And they'll be like, oh no. Then it's like, well, do you know what I mean? The double standards in situations like that they really piss me off. Okay, I got so many questions about female masturbation. Now, there's such a stigma around it, you know, in the sense that girls are like scared to, like, one, say that they do it, two, to even do it anyway. It's your body. Do what you want. Like, it's normal to want to experiment, see what it is that you like, because then when you're with someone else, you can tell them and be like, well, I know that this feels good, so do that. So my opinion is obviously, like, it's your body, you can do what you want with it, it's there for a reason. Go wild, honey. Go wild. Awareness about STDs. Okay, this is, like, I feel quite an important one, because it's one of those things that everyone's so embarrassed to talk about, or like embarrassed to go and, you know, get checked. But honestly, imagine not going to get checked just because you feel slightly embarrassed for like 3 minutes of walking into a clinic just to like have a checkup, which is so normal and perfectly what you should be doing, and then a couple months down the line you never went to get checked, and it's something even worse, something that you can't now get rid of, and all of that kind of stuff. For example, like chlamydia. Isn't chlamydia one of the, like, you can't, if you're a girl especially, it's like undetectable. You don't get symptoms unless it's really bad, and when it's really bad, it can even result to like not being able to have children if you leave it undetected for so long. So I would say if you're having regular sex and you are being unprotected just because you're on the pill, like, so you think therefore I can have unprotected sex, blah blah blah, like, that doesn't stop you getting an STD. And I feel like you should get, depending on how regular the sex is that you're having, you should 100% get checked like every month or couple of months, just like a checkup, you know what I mean? You need to just be honest with yourself, and I think that's what a lot of people don't do or won't do, is just to be honest with yourself. And it is just like, look, bitch, if you're gonna be doing this, you gotta do it right, and you need to make sure that you're protected for the sake of the people that you're sleeping with as well. Like, imagine having something and not knowing, and then you give it to someone else. How embarrassing is that? Or not even necessarily embarrassing, but how bad is that? That's selfish. Like, just because you're embarrassed to get checked doesn't mean that you should be able to, you know, spread what you've got. Get checked. that goes for boys as well. If you're a boy and you're watching this and you're, you know, doing your thing. But you know what I mean? Just like, if you are doing that, just be responsible about it. And then no one can say shit if you're just like, look, I'm being cautious, I'm just living my best life. What's the problem? Someone said, what do you do if a guy you like tells you he's a virgin and you're not? Pressure? Oh my goodness. If someone told me that they wanted to, you know, sleep with me and they were a virgin, oh my god, imagine. I mean, pressure, yeah, but like, how? What compliment? Like, they're like, I want to give you that special something. I mean, I wouldn't see it as pressure, because if you get nervous, imagine how nervous they're gonna be already. So like, you obviously want to make them feel comfortable. Oh, but turn that pressure into just like gratefulness, you know? Like, they've picked you. Just be yourself. And like, if it's like not great, I feel like they'll have nothing to compare it to anyway, so they won't know. You know? I feel like if you relax, then they'll relax, and then you'll both just have a good time. Okay, a lot of people have said to me opinions on period sex. Now, I personally have never done that, because my periods personally, without being too TMI, are just so heavy. I can't possibly, that's just like messy. Like, the thought of that is just messy. But I understand why people do it. Number one, your hormones when you're on your period are like times 1,000, hence why boys think that you're moody. But then it also, they're not, that anger hormones aren't the only hormones that you have, you know, your sexual hormones, and they're like times whatever. So I know you feel your most turned on-ish if you're on your period, which is why people tend to do it, and they say that it feels better. I know people that have done it, and it's like, they've said it's fine. I mean, I would probably only do it with like a boyfriend, because in case it does go wrong, you want them to just like understand and still love you. Still love you. I guess I don't really see a problem. It's not something personally I would do just out of personal preference, but I know people that have, and they've said it's fine. So, you know, just do you. I feel like just, you know what your situation is, and if you feel it's okay, then, you know, whatever floats your boat. Okay, I also got this question a lot as well, saying opinions on porn and like girls watching porn specifically. This is what annoys me. Why is porn just like a boy thing? I'm confused. Sis, there's stuff on there for you too. As long as you're just using it for like, you know, a little me time, and you're not using it to hold a standard of what you think all men or women should be like. I mean, these people do it for a living, so, and if you do anything for a living, it's because you're like good at it, you know what I mean, like really good at something. So don't think just because someone doesn't perform like that in real life that they're bad. They just, you know, you've been watching someone of a higher standard, and that if you start comparing it to like your regular life, I feel like that's when it's not okay. Do you know what I mean? Because you're using it in a negative way. But if you're using it in a positive way to just, you know, please yourself, then like go the fuck off, sis. Do whatever you want. And I mean, if you want to take a few little notes here and there, then do that. Another question that I got a lot was thoughts on anal. Personally, it's just not my thing. Like, I've not really tried it, but no, I would just be the girl that it all went wrong for. Like, that's just my luck that would happen. But again, I know people that have, and they say it's like great. I personally just don't see how it like could be. Like, I really just, I mean, it goes without saying, like, don't knock it before you try it, but like, there's no part of me that really like wants to try it. But again, if you enjoy it, you know what, for the people that have done it that I know, they've always, like, everyone says the same thing, and they're like, you just have to get past the like initial weirdness of like how it feels, and then it feels good. But like, I don't think I could get past the initial weirdness. Like, I just couldn't. Like, there's a perfectly other usable area. Why you want to put it there, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm no judging if that's like your favorite thing ever and it's all you do and like you love it so much. Fair play. I'm kind of jealous. Like, I just can't wrap my head around it, and I don't want to do it. Maybe if I'd been in a relationship for a while and they loved me and I said to them like, we need a safe word, and if it all goes wrong and like something happens to me, like, will you still love me at the end? And it was like signed contracts that they would still want to be with me. But nah, it's not really something that I'm interested in. Someone said, is it okay to still be sleeping with my friend with benefits and date other people? Love you. Love you too. It depends what your terms and conditions were with your friends with benefits. If you agreed that that was okay, then that's okay. I think if you're sleeping with other people and still sleeping with your friends with benefits and they don't know that you're doing that and you're not being protected with either of them, then you should say, because that's again being completely irresponsible. And unless you know that both of them are clear of anything and so are you, then like you should tell them both, because people want to know that. I would want to know that in case I got something, do you know what I mean? And I'd be like, where does that come from? And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm sleeping with someone else as well. And then it's just like, what the fuck, then why aren't you being... If you're gonna do that, you need to be responsible about it. It's just about being responsible. So, but I mean, if you're dating other people, does that not mean that you're more interested in them than you are with your friends with benefits? If you're like dating someone, is that not meaning that you want something a little bit more? So then therefore, why do you need a friends with benefits? Oh, unless you just playing that field girl, then go right ahead. Ooh, wait, oh my god, I was gonna move on, but this is a really good one. Someone said, would you tell your friend if you knew she was being cheated on? I mean, 100% yes. Like, you can't even call yourself a friend if you wouldn't do that. But, you know, I've been in situations before where my friend's being cheated on, but sometimes they don't, like you might have told them about their partner's behavior before and they don't want to hear it, and it's just a bit like you almost don't want to, you know, tell them, because you're like, well, I tried to tell them before and like they didn't listen, so whatever. But I feel like you need to just snap out of that mindset and just tell them, because they deserve to know, they deserve someone better, and you're just doing, you know, your service and your job of being a good friend by telling them. And then they can do whatever the fuck they want with that information, do you know what I mean? If they get back, if they want to stay with them, and they want to stay with them. If they break up, then thank goodness for that, you know, they break up, they deserve someone better. But you've just done what you needed to do. You've passed on the information and it's done. You've done all that you could do in that situation of what you thought was the right thing. Because imagine if it comes out through someone else, like someone else tells your friend about them being cheated on, and then somehow it comes out that you knew the whole time. You might lose a friend, and I know you didn't really like do anything, but you might lose a friend out of that. And that's just the way that some people's minds work, because they'll be like, why the fuck didn't you tell me, you're such a shit friend? Like, thinking that like if you had told them in the first place, they would have, you know, thought it was really grateful, but in your head they might not have. That's like for them to just decide and do. Just tell them, because you know if it was you would want to be told. So that's always what I think. Just think if it was you in that situation, would you want to be told? If the answer is yes, tell them. Okay, I got so many questions saying, what the fuck do you think happened to Madeleine McCann? And the answer is, I don't know. And I'm gonna be so pissed off if it doesn't come out in my lifetime. I like need to be 50 something, sat on the sofa with my family and kids, and the news comes up. Madeleine McCann has been found and blah blah blah. Like, I need that. I need to be alive if that comes out. Someone said, I know it might be too much, but I've always thought that talking about blowjobs might be awkward. That's not awkward. I love talking about that kind of stuff. No, I'm kidding. But like, what is it that you think's awkward? As in like, you don't know how to do it? Or something. I was gonna say that sometimes when like porn might be helpful, because you could just like watch a video, but there I feel like that's just so over the top and excessive. And if you don't know what you're doing and you go like, you know, all in on your first go, like you could really like just not do that right. But there is, without sounding really cringe, there's like articles you can read. Cosmopolitan magazine is like a magazine that talks a lot of like sexual stuff, tips, just like, you know, quite helpful things. So if you're ever just like feeling like you don't know how to do something, or just but don't want to watch anything, like you find that really awkward or that kind of thing, like reading about it might be better. It's a very personal preference. Like some people like certain things, some people like other things. There's no like one right way to do it. And if you're, I feel like a lot of people would be scared to ask the person that they're with, not like how to do it, but just like, how do you like it? I feel like that's a different question than to like, how do you do it? And I feel a lot of, well, I know for me personally, if someone said to me like, how do you like it when, you know, someone's doing things to you, I wouldn't think that was weird, like at all. I'd be like, oh my God, you care. So I would never find that awkward or like a weird thing to do. But yeah, if you're the kind of person that just is like so nervous and wants to be better or just know a little bit more about it, but doesn't want to watch anything because that's like kind of like unrealistic, then definitely read about it, and that might give you like a better insight, and so you feel a little bit more confident. Or just like talk to your friends about it and be like, girl, I want to learn, teach me, or like tell me. Just talk about it with your friends. If you have like a good group of girlfriends, then that kind of conversation is like glass of wine, actually probably like 3 glasses of wine in your comfies, just sit around talking about it, vibe. And they're the best kind of vibes to have with your friends, so maybe try that. Okay, so I went ahead and did my brows and like finished off my eyes because that shit takes time. So let's just, you know, continue on. So someone says, when your long-term boyfriend doesn't always make you finish in bed. Sis, if he's your long-term boyfriend, you should not have to put up with that for a long time. So say something. Don't feel embarrassed to say something either. Just like, I don't know, maybe tell him a little bit more about what it is that you're into, or what it like might take, you know, to get you there. Cause it's not, boys are just so easy. Without sounding weird, like they just like, it doesn't take much. Girls are like a puzzle. It's complicated and not everyone knows how to like do the puzzle the first go. So this is your long-term boyfriend. You might need to give him a little bit of guidance, and that's not an insult to him. And there's definitely ways to like make sure that you say it. So it's not going to be insulting to him. It's just making sure you both get the best out of a situation. He probably wants you to say something. Like he probably wants to make sure that you're having a good time. So anything that you can say to help him to ensure that you are having the best possible time, he probably does want to know. So don't feel embarrassed about letting him know. A lot of these questions are all the same. This is an interesting one. Someone said about speaking openly about sex with parents. I know people's families that are like super, super open, and they literally walk in and be like, Mom, like, I did this, blah, 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 blah. I feel like it's just, not everyone is like that. That'll be like that in your day-to-day life, even with your friends. Hold on, wait, let me just line my lips and then I'll continue to talk. I just realized I should probably finish off all my lips and able to talk, but my makeup's finished, and if there's any questions on what's on my face, ask me in the comment section down below, or I've probably posted them up on Instagram. But I feel like I just wanted to finish my makeup and I'll answer a few last questions. So yeah, as I said about speaking openly about sex with your parents, I feel like that's kind of important. If you have any questions, maybe not well, it depends on the relationship that you have with your parents. I know personally I would never be able to sort of like walk into a room and be like, yo Mom, I just did this, this and this. Like that's not the kind of relationship that we have. But I feel like we have a relationship that if I had like kind of like other problems, maybe more on like the relationship side or something like that, I feel like I could talk to her about it and that kind of thing. But I feel like it's super important to feel that you can, because this is like jumping to like a specific end of the spectrum, but I was watching a documentary on a cannibal. There was such a taboo in his house about speaking about sex. Like no one could even say the word sex, and it just meant that his mind had to kind of, you know, figure it out for himself. No one was teaching him what it meant, or like what happens when this happens and all that kind of stuff. And that's when it went, you know, bad. He became a fucking cannibal. You know what I mean? It's so weird. Like sex is such an important thing that should be spoken about, and it can really like affect you in ways that you don't even realize. So just with your friends, it doesn't always have to be your parents, but I feel like you should feel like you should never feel like you can't speak about anything with your parents. And if that's so, then maybe bring that up to them and say like, I feel like I can't, you know, talk to you about this sort of stuff, and I'm like, I need help, blah 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 blah. It's always just better to say something in any situation. Just speak up. Don't let it fester. I think I'm gonna end on this one, which is staying friends with an ex, because I feel like that's something that people maybe like want to do but don't know how to do, and I feel like it all depends on the situation of how you guys broke up, what you were like before you guys got together. I know for me, the last kind of like a breakup that I had was kind of hard because we were like best friends as well, so it was like losing a best friend and someone that you loved in the other sense. So I feel like they're the most difficult, and I feel like in that situation, just because of the way that it ended, we were like unable to remain friends and literally don't speak at all. But that's for the best and for the better, because otherwise that's like impossible to move on from. And I feel like if you've broken up, that is kind of the point. You feel like you need to move on, and they weren't benefiting you anymore. So, but then I'm friends with people that are still really good friends with people that they've dated before. But then I think you kind of have to then take into consideration that maybe it wasn't so serious and it wasn't what you thought it was at the time. Because I feel like if you were like so in love with someone and like can't picture yourself without them, and then you break up but then you can still be friends, it's like, well, how the hell are you managing to stay around them and not, you know, want to pursue that kind of relationship still, if that's how you felt? I don't know, it's such a tricky situation. But for me, I feel like I could be friends with an ex if it wasn't like a long-term relationship and we just tried it out, it didn't really work. No, I feel like we could just be friends if we were friends beforehand and stuff. So it all depends on your personal situation of, I feel like how you broke up is important, the severity and seriousness of the relationship to start with, and your relationship beforehand. And don't feel bad if you like feel as if you can be friends, like, and they feel like you can't, like that. You kind of have to just go with what they do, because it's unfair on you to like say like, well, I can just be friends, like why can't you? Because, you know, they were clearly felt a little bit differently about the situation than you did, and you have to respect that. People deal with things in their own way. People need to respect that. That goes out for any situation, and I feel like that's like a good note to end on. So that was the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and got my, you know, views on a few things, my opinions on a few things. I would love for you guys to sound off in the comment section on anything that I've spoken about. And obviously, yeah, like I said, if you have any makeup related questions, I'll respond to them in the comment section down below. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's like something slightly different. I feel like I want my channel to be a place where we can talk about anything and it not be, you know, weird or embarrassing or anything like that. I feel like I want to be someone that you can come talk to, ask your questions about, and I will be the person to put myself on camera and answer them for you. So I really hope you guys appreciate it and enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these type of videos and want me to do kind of more of them, like maybe more like girl talk type videos, that sort of thing. I feel like we need to get rid of the stigma that these are embarrassing and like not normal things to speak about. They totally are. Sorry if you are a brand or a, you know, a member of my family that thought this was like it's normal, okay? It's normal. If people want to know, I will be the person to answer. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I keep saying it. But yeah, I will see you in the vlog on Sunday. I know that's going to be a good one, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it. So I will see you then. Bye, guys.